Trump administration's federal cutbacks. I'm joined now by former New Jersey governor and U.S. Attorney Christie. Good morning, Chris. I want to start with what Elon Musk did on Saturday, which is order all federal employees to list their accomplishments or basically be fired. Can he do that?
No, he can't. Let's look at it a few ways, Martha. First, from a legal perspective, you have a situation where it is a complete overstep for him to be asking people, what did you do in the last week? And then use that as a basis to evaluate whether someone should be retained or fired. As with everybody's employment, things vary from week to week. And I think that if that went to court with an employee who was fired, if Mr. Musk and his minions didn't find what they did in the last week acceptable, there would be very little, if any, legal basis for them to be able to prevail, meaning the government. But secondly, as a former governor, too, from a management perspective, you can see what a clown car this is right now. Because you've got, for instance, FBI Director Kash Patel appropriately emailing his people in response saying, don't answer it. Don't answer the questionnaire. Any review process will be done internally by the FBI. Same thing from the National Security Agency. Same thing from the acting U.S. Attorney in the District of Columbia. So, you have people doing this, pointing in each direction. You do this, you do that. It shows that, again, this type of idea of Musk coming in there with the chainsaw that he was famously brandishing at a political event in Washington, D.C. this week is a lot more complicated than that. Running government's a lot more complicated than that. And hopefully they get their act together at some point.
But Chris, the Trump administration has had some wins in these legal battles. In fact, a federal judge agreed that they can now put thousands of USAID employees on leave. So any surprise there? And take a look at all the wins they have had.
No, Martha, look, I think that if you follow an organized process, the executive will have a lot of authority to be able to lay people off, reorder priorities within the government as a whole, and within particular departments as well. USAID as an agency, but working very closely with the State Department. So it's not that they can't do it. It's just you can't do it in this haphazard way where you have one guy, Elon Musk, and his Doge area, which isn't really even a department of the government, sending emails out. And then you have the people the president has appointed, and in some instances, like in Kash Patel's instance, are Senate-confirmed people saying, no, disregard that. That's where the person at the top has to give appropriate direction. And that has not come from the President of the United States at this point. He's giving different opinions to different folks, giving different direction. It leads to this type of thing. And that's where they're going to get in trouble in court if people sue, because there's no process for these folks to be dealt with fairly and appropriately, like any employee in the public sector or the private sector needs to be dealt with.
Okay, Chris, we have lots more to discuss. We'll stay on this in the weeks to come. Thank